Environmental Affairs Department says it's noted the report released by Greenpeace detailing the world's worst sulphur dioxide hotspots. This after that environmental body staged a protest outside Eskom head offices in Megawatt Park on Tuesday morning. The study revealed that the Kriel area in Mpumalanga is the second worst sulphur dioxide pollution hotspot in the world. SABC News reporter Nozintombi Miya and camera person Sicelo Hlanula were there.
Greenpeace is taking their fight for cleaner air to the streets, and they're outside Eskom's Megawatt Park here in Midrand. And what they're saying is that Eskom is one of the biggest sulphur dioxide pollutants in the country, and they want something to be done. They want interventions to be put in place to ensure that there are less emissions by Eskom, and they're reducing the emissions that are coming out from South Africa. And to talk to us a little bit more about the protest that they have staged is Melita from Greenpeace. Thank you so much for joining me. You have staged this protest outside Megawatt Park. What is the big reason why you want to do this protest?
So today's protest is a reminder that there are people living in the midst of an air pollution crisis, and they're paying the price for Eskom's pollution with their health and in some cases with their lives. So this is a hospital scene behind us because that's the reality in Mpumalanga and in these air pollution hotspots. Greenpeace released a report yesterday that showed that Kriel in Mpumalanga is the second worst sulphur dioxide pollution hotspot in the world, and that's because of Eskom's coal-fired power stations.
Yeah. And going forward, you have spoken to the Minister of Environment. You've also spoken to some of the biggest pollutants. And what is the comment that's coming from you? Are they talking about reducing the emissions?
The department is definitely not going far enough at this stage. At the moment, the Minister, Barbara Creasy, is actually considering weakening the sulphur dioxide limits, and our National Air Quality Officer is considering Eskom's application to postpone complying with air quality limits. And so what Greenpeace would say is this is an emergency. It's really time to act like it for both the National Air Quality Officer and the Minister, and Eskom must take responsibility for its emissions and commit to complying with minimum emission standards.
But Eskom is not the only pollutant. Sicelo is also one of the biggest pollutants. What are your comments to that?
So Eskom and Sicelo together are the two biggest emitters in the country. But in terms of the sulphur dioxide hotspot that we tracked, and last year the nitrogen dioxide hotspot that we tracked, which is exactly in the same place, that's coming primarily from Eskom's coal-fired power stations. For Sicelo in particular, their contribution to climate change is very significant. Both of them need to comply with minimum emission standards to prevent premature death.
And where are you getting your information from? Is there a report that's come out?
Yes, so yesterday Greenpeace India released a report which analysed NASA satellite data to actually rank the sulphur dioxide hotspots around the world, and that information is available on the Greenpeace Africa website, and we have shared it with the authorities.
But you say that in Mpumalanga, Kriel is one of the worst affected areas. Why are you staging your protests here outside Megawatt in Midrand?
Because those areas are usually hidden from view from people in Gauteng, but also from the people working at Eskom and the managers of Eskom who are refusing to change their practices. Basically, Eskom is addicted to coal. This has been their business model since time immemorial, and they haven't changed anything. So we're bringing the makeshift hospital scene that is the reality in Mpumalanga right to Eskom's door to say, this is the problem that you're causing, now you have to deal with it and take responsibility.
All right, thank you, Melissa Steele from Greenpeace, just giving us an idea of why they're staging this protest. And I just want to show you this hospital scene right here that they have staged, and you can see that there's beds, there's some of the Greenpeace volunteers here who are lying in these beds to really highlight the key issues around the effect that sulphur dioxide emissions have to the people in the region, specifically in Mpumalanga, in Kriel, where Eskom has been flagged as one of the biggest polluters of the air. And Greenpeace is saying that action must be taken now because people are dying, people are suffering, and they're calling for more interventions to be put in place to start reducing the emissions numbers that seem to be coming out of Eskom and Sicelo. With that, it's back to you in the studio.